Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Sagittarius July 19, 2022. Minor but nagging influences early today can challenge your perception or delivery. There can be tensions revolving around opinions and ideas or transportation delays to manage. Try to look beyond the words chosen to the intentions behind the communication. Get your mind off people problems by focusing on something more manageable and predictable. As the day advances, illumination can occur on a mental level. Mercury and the Sun align in your spirit sector, bringing some clarity. Conversations, news, and thoughts can help you clear up misconceptions, ultimately allowing you to make definite plans. Blanks fill in, mainly related to studies, personal interests, publishing, or a communications project. It's helpful to remember that while conversations can be interesting right now, an emotional or sensitive element can be missing. Swim on toward the sunrise amidst calmer surf and seas. Today and tomorrow should bring a much more pleasant vibe now that we are distancing from some of the more tumultuous energy we previously experienced. Mental Mercury, our comic messenger planet of the mind and communication, is crawling along the beach like a crab to meet the mighty Sun in your solar 9th house of expansion. This would be a magnificent day to plan long-distance travel with your one and only, or even set off on a trip. With these two powerhouses united, you're ensured to see all of the details and have an exhilarating time. Try to maneuver today's sudden twists and turns with innovative grace. It may be easier to succumb to the fixed tension when the Moon in Aquarius squares both Uranus and the North Node in Taurus. However, you will not get much done if you are stubbornly clinging to commitments and partnerships that do not add value to your work life. Even though this might be tough, you should consider revamping the premises of your arrangements. Change can be a tough but worthwhile pill to swallow, especially if you have to meet new, unexpected demands. You may be feeling the need to commit yourself to something. This could be in your professional or personal life. But you may have jumped in a little too quickly. At the moment, something is pushing you to reconsider the promises you have made. This doesn't mean that you will be making another commitment on your own. Instead, you are likely to be making a financial decision with your partner. Relations and friends are having a hard time with you and vice versa. Put an end to this mutual feeling of frustration, be honest with yourself and consider compromising on some points. Talking to people to clear things up is also a big help. Regard today's negative atmosphere as an opportunity to resolve conflicts permanently. Before you agree to anything long-term, think it through again. Is this really something you want to agree to? In the abstract, it sounds fine, but make sure you can live with it. Whatever you try to achieve is criticized and unlikely to be accepted in a very favorable way, especially if you feel undue pressure to perform any kind of activity. It is far better to delay important activities or decisions until you feel positive about the outcome. Use your sense of humor to relieve any tension. Today, you could attend a group activity that deals with psychic, metaphysical, or spiritual pursuits, perhaps involving astrology or numerology. Your mind is especially receptive right now, so you'll probably absorb more information than you normally would. You'll enjoy the company of the people around you as well, and it might inspire you to write, draw, paint, or make music. Go with the flow in whatever direction it takes you. Be sure that you don't come across as too opinionated on this day. This vibration can increase the likelihood of this, and given your usual forthright way, you'd be wise to watch for it. Even if you are certain that your opinions are the most informed and correct in a situation, try to remember that all people are entitled to their own views. You can present the facts you know to others without coming across as arrogant or superior. Our eyes in the sky. In the afternoon, Sun-Mercury conjunction in the watery sanctuary of Cancer increases your social interaction and makes you the perfect entertainer, especially at home. You love to show off your house and the things you've done to make it comfortable and inviting for your guests. This is a perfect time to host an intimate dinner party. When you and your close friends get together during this chatty aspect, it's the perfect environment to spill the tea. Luckily, things should cool off before the day comes to a close, but you might still need an outlet to relieve all the stress from the day. Working with a creative hobby is the perfect way for you to unwind, so be sure to set aside some time for a little art therapy before bed. It is also possible that this signature will manifest in the form of an auspicious attitude adjustment. We understand how our emotions can be harnessed to work for us, giving us more bandwidth to deal with the unexpected. In this way, we consciously approach new experiences, rather than reacting improperly to unconscious triggers. In the morning, Mercury forms a trine to Neptune in Pisces, stimulating the imagination. Mercury in Cancer brings out our sentimental side in communication and correspondence. We are prone to romanticizing the past, and what we desire now is to translate nostalgia through a creative or spiritual outlet. This is an ideal influence for artists who wish to convert intangible emotions onto an artistic or theatrical canvas. We can also find ourselves reaching out to friends who we haven't spoken to in years to reminisce over shared memories. This is a poor time for dealing with cold, hard facts. We look at the present through a lens of the past, so go easy on yourself if this turns out not to be the best day for remembering errands or memorizing information. Before noon, the Aquarius moon conjoins Saturn, placing us in a solitary mood. We are still under the influence of the Mercury-Neptune trine, absorbed in our own memories. If we are not currently surrounded by people who can corroborate our past recollections, it may be more natural to spend this time alone. The truth is that few people, if any, will know about past events with the same perspective or a shared frame of reference. This can leave us feeling a bit lonely and hungry for connection, yet equally unenthusiastic about building bridges. The important thing now is not to sit and sulk. Use this transit to do something novel and constructive with your potent emotions. Following this connection, the moon syncs up with Mars, also in Leo, providing stamina and passion. We feel brave and eager to conquer our goals. However, the risk here is that we end up trying to conquer others instead through showy displays of bravado that can be more off-putting than inspiring. Mid-afternoon, the moon sextiles Venus in Gemini, engendering gratitude. Words of affirmation and quality time are our love languages. We spread joy around by making others feel heard, checking in to ensure we are understanding them correctly. While the sextile is an auspicious aspect, we might miss its best effects if we aren't paying attention. This is a great time to connect with friends, taking in entertainment like a concert, party, or art exhibit. It can also improve intimate relationships. A new romance that begins now would be lighthearted and fun. The desire to write down your thoughts on a subject you've been either thinking about or possibly even researching could come upon you today, even if you don't try to do any more with it than post it on an internet news group. If you've been thinking about trying your hand at a magazine article on this or any subject, this is the time to get started. Your mind is sharp and your self-expression free-flowing.